Whether it's looking at one or creating one, it's proven to be relaxing by many pieces of evidence and interviews around the world. In fact, art can be quite an effective way to heal someone. It is proven by the American Therapy Association in 2001 after their experiment on adults with depression, and many more after that. Today, I'm going to be focusing on the outcasts of the society, the prison inmates. Our prison system has been repeatedly criticized for focusing too much on punishment, deterrence, and not on rehabilitation, which is why prisons were even built in the first place. So instead of emphasizing so much on these things, our government has been slowly recognizing the problems, and the programs that help with personal experiment, education, and job opportunities have been slowly installed inside the prison, and art programs being one of them. In a film in 1979 called Escape from Alcatraz, there was a snippet where a prison inmate gets his art supplies taken away from him because the prison warden found a painting that he didn't really like. Doc, the prisoner, loses his sanity and cuts his finger off as a result. Though this may sound really exaggerated, the director, Don Siegel, explains that there has been real-life cases like these, and this is just a cinematic form of representing it. It represents how an average prisoner feels towards activities like these. A study done by the University of New Mexico shows that programs like these have decreased violence within the prison walls, increased social behaviors, and boosted self-esteem. And now, 2/3 of majority of prisoners in the USA and around the world take up programs like these as a therapy tool and a way to express themselves. Art can help a person find themselves. It takes away the feeling of alienation, being looked down upon, and isolation, which is often what people in prison felt. When people are put in prison, they're viewed differently. People think of them as offenders, and they deserve to suffer in poor conditions such as a prison. Prison is a horrible place. There has been cases of sexual assault, murder in there, and people being forgotten, and people losing their sanity. Many young people are thrown in prison for a long time because of something they did that was not acceptable when they're young. Fernando Murillo, for one, was 16 when he was thrown in jail for second-degree murder, which meant unplanned and sudden murder that might have been committed under the circumstances of trying to protect themselves. Fernando is now 40, and he was interviewed by the PRI, a news organization, and he said that he was happy and he was helping with the prison as a nurse because he was educated, and he thought that maybe if he helped these people, they'd feel less trapped and lonely, just like how he was when he first got there. Many art programs were being held to help the prison inmates feel connected to the real world. One of them being Jeffrey Green's CPA art show. According to Jeffrey, people have revelation all the time about themselves, about other people, about their connection with people, and spiritual revelation. And sometimes when they get out of prison, it's all very different. These art shows give them something that they can work through, to tell a story that nobody would like to listen if it wasn't in their own language. There's tons of activities out there that can benefit the brain, but I picked art because it's the most important part of this field in this therapy is that nobody can judge you. There's no standards for art. Art's just a platform where you get to tell your story and express yourselves freely because nobody can judge you, and it's just free like that. And that's why I think that prison art needs to be a bigger part of imprisonment. Thank you.